Everybody, big hand. The one thing I did forget to say, my wife pointed out, was the theme of tonight, because we always do true stories based on the theme, and tonight's theme is connections. So that's what the theme is, in case you didn't figure that out. Okay, so we're going to start off our second half with Sherry. I want everybody to give a really warm, welcoming round of applause to Sherry. Come on up, Sherry.
Sherry, everybody, Sherry. Oh.
I've always had an awkward relationship with my brother. We called him Mac. He's my only sibling, 4.5 years my senior, although it seems more like 10 years. Before I was born, my brother begged Mom to give him a little sister, but when she did, he resented me. Each one of us thought the other one was the favorite child. Although we grew up under the same roof, we experienced life totally differently. He was the serious, responsible one, and I was the happy-go-lucky dreamer. We were like the Smothers Brothers. I was Tommy, and he was a Dick. Just like in the song, he was the guy with a pin to burst my bubble. Any statement I made, he contradicted it. It was his job to make me afraid of the world around me. Like the summer when he warned me that in 2nd grade, all the kids fight each other, even the girls. I was scared to go back to school, but thankfully, things were not like he said. Mac always found me really annoying, but I practically worshipped him, and I followed him everywhere. He did not like me going into his bedroom, so he placed a toy robot just inside the door. I'd walk in, see it, scream, and run. Sometimes he played nicely with me. He taught me Chinese checkers, tic-tac-toe, and hangman. But most of the time, he preferred coming up with ways to hurt me without getting into trouble. He turned on the water way too hot when he helped me wash my hands. He gripped my arm way too tightly during family portraits. He gave me Dutch rubs. We bopped each other over the heads with cardboard tubes and with balloons tied to a stick. The games he came up with were a bit on the sadistic side, like the one called Beat a Song on Sherry's Back. It was a slightly more violent version of Name That Tune. I got my turn, but naturally, my brother beat out his rhythms quite a bit harder than necessary. I took it, though, because at least he was interacting with me. We used to go get rat fakes out of the gumball machine at the Hunt's Corner Grocery. Do you remember those? They're about 1.5 inches tall, made of plastic, and they came in different colors. They had these evil grimaces, and they wore overalls, and they had their hands crossed behind their backs. There was a hole in their hands where you could insert the peg of a plastic ring and wear them like jewelry. Adult rat finks had 1 hole, and baby rat finks had 2 holes. My brother told me that any time I saw a hole, he would have to punch me in the arm, 1 punch per hole. So the baby rat finks were the more dangerous ones. He always made sure to stick out that middle knuckle so it would hurt more. He called it frogging, I guess because it leaves a green bruise. So there was one game that we played that almost turned deadly. Our family was camping out with friends out in the woods. The other couple had a bunch of kids. We kids were playing with a beach ball and we were tossing it back and forth. I really sucked at that game. Well, one of the kids threw a foul ball and it landed in the woods. It landed in the weeds at the edge of this big round sandy area about 7 feet in diameter. None of the kids went to fetch it, so I helpfully ran across to get the ball. Midway across, I started sinking. I went, help, help, it's quicksand! Every kid's worst nightmare is to be sucked under by the quicksand and smothered to death. And now it was actually happening to me. but none of the kids came to help me. They all stood around just laughing at me. I said, "It's quicksand! I'm sinking! I don't want to die!" But they still laughed at me. How could they be so cruel? My fear turned to anger. I can't believe that you all want to let me die. The quicksand came up past my knees and up to my thighs, and finally my brother reached out his hand and pulled me out. Mom took me to the showers and washed me off, and on our way back, the kids were saying, "That wasn't quicksand. That's the leaching pond for the septic tank system." I didn't know what that was, and so they said, "You were sinking in people's poop." Ew! Thanks a lot, big brother. Well, our relationship had its ups and downs as we grew up. I mostly communicated with my brother through his various wives and girlfriends. There was one time when we had a bad falling out for a couple of years, which really upset Mom, and she pleaded with us, so we finally started talking again just for her sake. Over time, we gradually became more comfortable with each other. Now my husband and I stay with him and his wife whenever we go back east to visit family. I am so grateful to my brother for taking care of our parents. It's a huge job and very stressful, but he handles it like a saint. We talk on the phone a few times per year. We gripe about politics. We shake our heads over our parents' bad decisions. But other than being really good looking and very modest, my brother and I have nothing in common. So our relationship is still a bit awkward. But we do always end our phone calls with, "I love you."